Okay, so dear Dharma practitioners, be comfortable yourself and relax your body. Keep your back straight, neck head straight in one line and your right palm on your left. So gently close your eyes and bring your attention to this bell sound. And while you're focusing to the sound, mentally relax your body, relax your mind, and relax your breathing with your thoughts. So do nothing extra. Just follow the sound, please. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Namo tassa bhagavato arahato samma sambuddhassa. Homage to the Blessed One, the Exalted One, the fully enlightened one. So dear Dhamma practitioners, before we start our practice session, as usual, we take few minutes for ourselves to reflect on this practice and become very clear how this practice can help for us to develop our inner awareness. And at the same time, from the beginning, I want to remind that what happened in Texas yesterday. So our prayers go to that all the children who passed away. And at the same time, we have to reflect on the nature and the Dharma and understand the very behavior of the human nature, because it makes our heart so heavy when we see those things. But it is not just isolated one incident happened there. And that is one thing we see. And dying is one thing that we see. And if we look around the world, everywhere, there are a lot of children every day die in different ways, but we don't see. So, and at the same time, we have to remember that according to the Buddha's teaching, that when we see those things, we have to understand it. And at the same time, there are two ways that it can happen, it can behave. So the one is that the person whoever did with the anger, hatred, or the jealousy. Somehow out of those three things, one thing or two or all the three things should be with that person. And when you see that, it is the very nature that you get disturbed out of it, and then what happened? You also start to go towards the greed, hatred, and the delusion. That's the very nature of the world. In any way, when you see something that way, it ignites your deeper greed, hatred, and the delusion. And if you go with that, then what will happen? It will start to become more and more and more, even with one just thoughts sometimes. When we get mad, angry, it generates certain kind of energy, and that energy go to the same energy that happened in Texas or anywhere in the world. When you see something and if you get disturbed out of it, if you get mad, angry, that the anger that happened in you and the anger that happened in that person, the same thing. And then what happened? That kind of things become stronger. That's why people image things and become like that way. That's why people copy things and start to do things. And even the intelligence service knew that when one thing happened somewhere and then another thing, the same kind of incident going to happen in another place. They knew that. So this is a kind of like a chain. It's kind of like the action we feel. We're living in the field of action. We have to be aware about it. And that's why when it comes to that pain, you have to turn that pain to action in a very wise way. That method is when you, because somehow it's going to turn our pain, going to change to the action. Somehow it happens. Knowingly or unknowingly, visibly or invisibly, it can happen. So then, when the pain comes to you, even not about that incident or any incident around in your life, when the pain arises, you have to be mindful, you have to be a skillful person to convert that pain to a profitable action. So the pain is a kind of like a, pain is break your heart. Okay. So your heart is kind of like a cage that you covered with your own thoughts, emotions, desires, self-centered mind. So you live in your own world with the very secure way. That's how we all are. And this kind of pain, this kind of incidents break our heart. And when we break our heart, sometimes we get so mad, so sad, disappointed, unhappy. But if you have some kind of awareness, in that very moment you will see when this kind of pain or the incidents break your heart, what happens? The light start to come to you. That is what called the wisdom. That's what happened to the Prince Siddhartha. He had a very luxurious life than us. So now we see, there is nothing happened to us. We just live in our own world, and through the TV, computer, social media, we see what happened there. But it is totally different. Just imagine that when the Prince Siddhartha, that he used to live in a very luxurious life, and he never thought life going to change in life. So then he start to get out of the palace and go here and there, and he saw that sick person, old person, and dead person. So when he saw that, he got panic, because he didn't know that we are on the way to death. And but see how it's painful, and everywhere, as ordinary people ourselves, sometimes most of people, even we didn't die yet. We go to school, we go to preschool, we go to, school and universities and work so hard and get married, make children, have a family life, then you have grandchildren. You go through this kind of all the things in your life, and finally what you get, you're not going to get anything that on the way that you had, everything that things go away from you. Finally what you get the death. That's what. So when the people see that this death, they get panicked. They get the pain inside their belly. Their legs become kind of like numb, and their hands become kind of like numb. The eyes kind of like become like clouds. They can't see things. And sometimes your ears get locked, and sometimes that's why, like, you want to hear it again and again. You didn't hear it well. What? Say me again. Say me again. What is that? What happened? So like that, it locked your, all the senses. Death is not easy, but we have to know it's going to come to us. So then, through this practice, once you understand, it open your heart and it bring the light to you. This kind of incident break your heart and bring the light to you. The pain will bring the light to you to know the very nature of life. And then you have to put value on you, because as a child, no one killed you. As a young person, no one came and shoot you. See, it's happened everywhere. But why it didn't happen to you? And then you have to understand that there are some kind of responsibility in you. So then do your best for the world. Why? Because maybe tomorrow we're not going to have this. We're not going to experience this anything tomorrow. Maybe somebody can kill us also. It can happen to anybody. That's what we have to understand. And at the same time, you have to do the best. And it doesn't matter the age. And when I was listening to that father, that the one child, that died, and the parents didn't give a cell phone for her for a while, and she was keep asking the cell phone, but they didn't give it. And then finally they thought for her birthday to give a cell phone for her, and they brought a brand new cell phone and gave to this child, this little child. Okay. And she went to that preschool, elementary school. And then when that guy came and shoot, and she got shot, and she fell down. And then she took her cell phone, the very brand new cell phone, and the very first call that she made to the police. It's not for the parents or anybody. She was trying to make a phone call, the very first call from her life, to the police. See, that's how you should be. Even sometimes we think that when I heard that, okay, we didn't go through that kind of situation. We had a lot of opportunities in life to do a lot of good things for other people. But sometimes when everything go right, we caught up in our own imagination, our own self-centered mind, and our own world, and we don't allow anybody to cross our lines and disturb us. We develop a very kind of, the kingdom inside us. No one can attack us. But look, that child, even she got shot, and her very first phone call, she was asking for a while from parents to get the cell phone. And the very first call that she made for the police to inform that there is someone come and shooting. So when I saw that, it's kind of like that is the lesson that we have to understand from life. See, that is it's not you live 100 years And sometimes people have so much money, so much wealth, and very healthy, and they don't think even for a moment, any single moment regarding other people even. So like that, if we live a life that way, it never going to bring the transformation to us. Okay. So then when the pain come to you, remember, transform it to a profitable action, like that child in the middle of the chaos with so much blood, and still her dreaming, her dreaming phone, she make a call to the police to inform that somebody's there. And that is the lesson that we have to get, because otherwise, if we become angry, what we can do? If we become, kind of like a mad out of these situations, and we lose our wisdom. So then always remember that always there is a way that you can bring the transformation to yourself. And there is always a space for you to move forward. There is always opportunity for you to change. That is the light can do. That is the power with any situation. Because you can't change these situations. And tomorrow something can happen. And day after tomorrow things can happen. Anything can happen. And when that things happen, maybe we just see on the surface level of, information or the situation. But remember, there are a lot of things that we don't see behind it. There are a lot of things that we don't know behind it. But yourself, always, as we are trying to develop a spiritual path for us. So then we have to develop the profitable skill ourselves. And then without neglecting, without, passing, without missing, without resisting, without waiting for something, always remember, whenever you have opportunity, okay, do your best for others. So that is the threshold, that change the situation. So that's why then when you look everywhere, there is always opportunity for you. If you miss that, it doesn't matter 100 years you live, it become, worthless for yourself. Maybe we feel, or we do things, we like things, we make things happen, but it's worthless. The worth, this transformation, the value that we put into ourselves is very necessary. That's why I always mention, when we practice meditation, or if anybody come and ask me, about happiness, or even about meditation, and sometimes people come and ask about healing, I always ask the motivation behind it, why you want it. Because sometimes people have the very, very dark, self-centered motivation. And for that, this path doesn't, doesn't work. It's become very difficult, because this go towards the light, not towards the darkness. So if anybody hold it, the motivation go towards the darkness, and this is not the path for that. We can't help. Only thing is, that person need to find out that it's his or her inner motivation. Because we can't. If the Buddha or if the enlightened master, maybe they can see, even they see, they're not going to interfere. No one going to interfere with your inner motivation. No one can do that. Even the Buddha never did that to anybody. Buddha knew that what is the motivation of the other people around him, but he never challenged for that. He never kind of like go against that. He accepted. So that's why we can't bring the change like that way. Only thing, it's our own responsibility to understand and bring the change to ourselves and look into our motivation. What is behind this all? What we look for? That is the important thing. No, and once you become very clear and slowly, little by little, that you will see. So when it comes to this practice, it's mainly trying to give the awareness, because that awareness will allow you to see the very nature of things. And the awareness has an ability to keep the deeper connection with the truth. Otherwise, because our thoughts, our emotions, our habits, our desires, our environment can take us to different way, and it may not allow us to see the truth or to see the things exactly as it is. So once you develop the awareness, and that awareness will help you to deeply, directly get connect with the things, to see things as it is. So it's kind of like that is where the clarity is come. So it's kind of like in the beginning, you have to have the faith towards that, the reality or the dharma or the truth or the very nature. Because if you don't have the faith towards that, you will not going to get it. It's not going to exchange exactly the way that what you want. It's like this. If I put example, it's like this. You earn money, now it is your own money, and you go to a place to buy something. Just imagine some kind of electronic, or actually in the book it's a, the meats. So let's put the same original example, the meats. So you want to get the meats, and the butcher cut the most valuable, because he know, according to the animal, he knows which part is so valuable. Not all the parts. And sometimes in the meditation also explain that when you observe the body, you should know the part of the body, like how the butcher knows the parts of the animal. It's kind of like you have a deeper awareness. So somehow the buyer come and pay you high money to get the best meat from the butcher. So the butcher cheat him and not giving the best meat for him according to the value. So then what will happen is there is a disconnection going to happen. Then you cheat. And then just imagine there is a buyer come, pay the money, but it is fake money. And the butcher give them the meats. It is not exactly the good, valuable meat from that. So the butcher cheat the buyer, and the buyer cheat the butcher. So then from that, in that level, it's no one wrong. Even the no one's intention not going to become successful. No one going to get what they want. They're both going to lose. So like that, sometimes your faith, when your faith is not towards the Dharma, what happens that whatever that you gain as teachings to go towards the Dharma, it's like you paying fake money and receiving the unvaluable meats. So even you make fake money and get the most expensive valuable meats, and that also not going to work for your path. So then you have to pay the very valuable legal money to receive the right kind of meat. So that way, that what you receive and what you pay is both going to become valuable, and out of that, you're going to be healthy, and you're going to be happy, you will enjoy it. So same like that, when it comes to the Dharma, always remember, be authentic. If you look for the authenticity, you have to be authentic. When you go towards the Dharma, it is not a person, it is nature. When you go towards the Dharma, your very motivation is naturally connected to the Dharma according to the quality of the motivation. Just remember that. So that's why out of the greed, there's no way that you can generate the generosity. Out of anger, you can't generate the compassion. Out of the ignorance, you can't generate the wisdom. That's the thing. So then you have to look into your inner motivation and always hold it to that, especially while you practice again and again, again and again. So that itself brings your awareness clear towards you. And then, because whatever inside you, you have to remember it is outside also. It's in and out both. It's as example, when it comes to our fundamental qualities. So I go with only with the material, and you can apply it to all the mental behavior or the quality. It's going to be the same. So as a single word, your motivation, that whatever motivation inside you, you will find it in the outside. So it's like this. Our very fundamental qualities or the ultimate is this in its body is 4 elements. And the 4 elements, and another way, if we go completely deeper, it's going to go to the 6 elements: heat, motion, liquidity, and hardness, and the air or the space, and the consciousness. So that whatever the air element inside you, the same quality or is that fundamentally the same properties of the material going to be the outside quality of the air. It's not different. Heat, that whatever mentioned by heat, that yourself, that it's the same quality or the properties going to be inside you and the outside. That as a heat, what you understand from observing inside or recognize, or whatever the heat inside you, that the same property you will recognize from the outside. The motion, the same. Or the liquidity or the watery nature, the same. The hardness, that what you recognize by hardness from inside you, head to toes, any part. As a property, it carries the same quality. And in the outside world, the same. Space, that what you mean by the space or the very behavior of the nature of the space, it's going to be the same inside you and it's going to be the same outside you. The consciousness. So the consciousness, that whatever as a property, elements when you take as inside you, the same, and the outside, the same. So then just imagine, whatever the motivation inside you, when you will find that it's outside also. So that's why when it comes to the Dharma, if you look for the truth, if you look for the ultimate the end of this all, and you will find it because it is there. And but at the same time, if you look for something else, then you go that way. So the awareness is the place that without putting any kind of self-centered idea or the intention, and once you settle down with your awareness, it directly takes you to the truth of the nature, because the very truth of you is not the thoughts, it's awareness. It's the recognition. That is the truth of you. It's not what happened in the past or the future or kind of like that. So what you recognize in this very moment is the ultimate result of you so far. So once you tune to that, what happened, it brings that direct perception to the outside world. And then not only that, once you see it as the truth, you will accept it. So that acceptance itself brings the stillness, steadiness. That's what happened inside. So once you have that quality in you, so we observing our own inhalation, exhalation, so we recognize it, and then, or maybe observing the bodily sensation, the posture, the pain, or the thoughts, observing that, now you recognize in this very moment what's happening. So once you recognize, the stillness or the steadiness going to be there with you. And then you will see breath come. You don't know from where it comes. Breath goes. You don't know where it goes. And not only that, thought arise, you don't know from where it comes. Thoughts will go. You don't know where it goes. Any sensation arise, you will see it arise. You don't know from where it arises. It will go. You don't know from where it goes. So like that, once you are capable to see this nature, you're not going to hold this anything as you. So that is where your awareness get out of this self-centered mind or personalizing whole things personally as you. You just take it as a moment of experience. So now awareness bring the ability to see the truth, and the truth will, that ability will allow you to accept it. That acceptance will bring the ability to develop the stillness, not to jump here and there, and steadiness to see things arising and disappearing. And that will bring the ability of calmness. You settle down. That calmness will bring the ability of equanimity, because now you see things arise, disappearing as a result of cause and effect, not because of this or that. So that is where you experience that anything as a whole thing, not as a part of something. When you experience that things as a whole, and there's no one place to catch. And that is where you little bit step back, avoid, move backward from the moment rather than jumping to it. So in that nature come to you, you hold it to the equanimity with the calmness. And that is the ultimate place that you settle down with the transformation to the very next moment of you. So that is how this practice can help for you. So as you know now in your life, if you look back yourself, you very need that. So it is a gift for you So rather than just go with this imagination or the thoughts or this this information world that people create with the desires, it is good for you. It's nothing wrong with that, because that is the world. We have to accept it, but that doesn't mean we have to go with it. So you have a choice deeper inside, and look into your inner motivation, and always try to brush up it, clean it, and bring it back to the stillness with the calmness and with the equanimity. So with that, let's get into practice a little bit. So your right palm on your left and neck head straight in one line, and be comfortable with your posture. So bring your attention to your body and scan head to toes yourself and say Sopat Deva, or may I be well and happy 3 times. Take a moment and think. We gathered here in this moment to practice this ancient meditation technique. All the Buddhas, all the enlightened masters followed this path and achieved wisdom. So we also gathered here to accumulate that knowledge. In this moment, with this sitting, may my body become more comfortable, may my breath be more smooth, may no difficulties come to me, may all the success come to me. Also think for a moment, this is the last moment we're spending in this very lifetime, and detach your mind from all your past memories and as well as any kind of future thoughts. Just try to remain in the present moment, observing the sensation of your inhalations and exhalations. So in the beginning, deeply and gently, breathe in, breathe out 3 times and find the sensation, please. And allow your inhalations, exhalations happen itself. And when it happens through the sensation, recognize it, do nothing extra. Bring attention to your body, please. Observe your posture. We cultivate loving kindness and compassion in our heart and radiate it as a light through entire your compound, village, city, state, country, world, around this universe. Also as far as you can through galaxies, other planets, stars. Reminding yourself like this. With clear intention, mentally repeat after me. May all living beings in this universe be well and happy. May everyone be happy and safe, and may their hearts be filled with joy. May all living beings live in security and in peace. Being through up, frail or strong, tall or short, big or small, visible or not visible, near or far away, already born or yet to be born. May all of them dwell in perfect tranquility. Let no one do harm to anyone. Let no one put the life of anyone in danger. Let no one out of anger or ill will wish anyone any harm. Expand the loving kindness and compassion beginning from your heart. Forward. Visualize yourself and send it as a light. To your backside. To your left side. And to your right side. Downward. And upward. To all six directions at once. Like the moon, the sun, spread the light, spread the energy without any condition, without any limitation, without any resistance or without any judgment. Let your heart to shine with the loving kindness and compassion from the bottom of it, with the maximum effort to the highest, wishing yourself, may all living beings in this universe be well and happy. Say sadhu, sadhu, sadhu. So first of all, we offer this practice to the great qualities of the Buddha, Dharma, and the Sangha. And also by the power of this meritorious deed, may all of us attain to the supreme bliss of Nibbana. May all your guardian angels and deities will receive these merits and increase their longevity and protect all of you from any kind of planetary influences or any ill effects. And also we transfer this all merits to that children who passed away yesterday in Texas, wherever they are, may they be able to gain these merits. If they're living in a low existence, may they be able to attain to a high existence. If they're living in a high existence, may they be able to attain the supreme bliss of liberation or the transformation or the wisdom as they wish. Ettavata chammi sampadam punya sampadam sabbe deva numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe bhuta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya sabbe satta numodantu sabba sampatti siddhya. Imaya dhammanu dhamma patipattiya buddham pujemi dhammam pujemi sangham pujemi. Addaya imaya patipattiya jati jara vyadhi maranam ha paribunjisami. Idam me punya kammang asavakkaya vang hotu sabba dukkha pamunchatu. Bless you.